Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy Comics, and I'm here to show books. My pre-order arrived, and I got so many books that I'm dying to show you that. Well, let's stop talking. First thing I want to show you is something I got really rather late. What I mean by that is Silver Sprocket catalog issue 2023. I was hoping for 2024, but I'll take what I can get. I wasn't familiar with this company. It was Chris of Chaos and Comics that kind of said, hey, not only these guys been around forever, but I did a little research, and not only they've been around, but they're out here in Frisco, and they cover a gambit of different types of reads. So I'm looking forward to actually getting into some Silver Sprocket stuff and checking out their world. Before I get into too far into that, I just want to show you a catalog and I guess just say, hey, look, I learned something from you guys. I'm going to jump in and say, hey, to all the peoples that make this possible. So what I mean by that is, hey, without you, as if he's talking to me. Mike, I appreciate you being here. Buffering, I understand that. I feel like that's kind of like my whole life. Between buffering and lagging, I'm just... Hey, guys, Cruces, I appreciate you. And always from, New Mexico, I would cruise out there. I wouldn't cruise out there. I would love for you to cruise out here. I mean, that would be awesome. But I also appreciate you just showing up on the screen. It's a lot easier of a way to travel when you don't have to leave your own room. It's the truth. I'm just saying. Legend! Robert, dude, you the man. I appreciate you. And look, kabam. I appreciate you setting a timer. Seriously. I understand that. Oh, really? I still can't do that. I like that smell, that ink and just touching the paper, and I don't know. We'll see. That's good. All right. Well, hey, yo, sit. Appreciate you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I've been watching some of your shows of late. I just keep diving in and out of between all these other things I've been doing. Tell a lady I said, hey, and I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, hey, look. See, we got the whole full house going on again. Look at that. Ba-bam. Hey, so I'm sure that everyone is looking forward to seeing some of these books. So check this out. This is called Lipstick Clicker. This is written by a good acquaintance of mine, Caden Phoenix. She has such talent that I am so glad that this, to my understanding, did get picked up by a whole Netflix thing. So as far as the whole Cadillac, I forgot what they call that, Cadillac Vampire or something like that, is concerned of this whole big universe that's out there, she's going to be part of the launch of all this thing. So she's produced, she's direct, she's done so much that now I think it's finally paying off for her. So good for you. Can't wait to actually see you soon and talk to you further about this, because I know you in the sense of I know how you are, and I'm looking forward to learn more about this whole world and how it's going to launch. All right, so this is the stuff that I ended up getting this week. So this is not from the pre-order, but I ended up picking up from my LCS. So I got a 1 in 25 Carnage, and I ended up putting that in my little store folio to keep it all nice and protected. I got a Spider Boy local comic shop day version. All right. And I'm kind of digging on that. And the Incredible Hulk, I got to get the Mylar's just sheaming, just everything. You're seeing every reflection in the world that you could possibly see, but the actual, there we go. So there's a 1 in 25. And then I didn't have one, so I bought one. Had to. I had to. Now, I really like the pitch on what these guys are doing. What they end up doing, as opposed to other companies, is other companies are charging more for their books. What this company did is they put these books out for free. And what they're trying to do is hook you on the story, and then you get to buying the story on a regular basis for $3.99 cost. Smart. Vault, keep doing this. It's kind of a brilliant plan. I hope it pans out for you. I'm reading it. So, hey, there you have it. And I'll toss those off to the side. And here we go. So that was a beginning of my pre-order right here. And then into the big game. If you don't No, this is tying all of Mark Millar's universes together. It's the first time it's ever been done with him, and he's taken 2 decades or more to kind of put this into 5-issue mini of he's wiping out some characters here. He's showing you how vulnerable characters are over there and showing you kind of a grand master plan of all these stories that lied beneath that you never saw. All in just 5 mini issues of this big game. Highly recommend this. This is awesome. If anything, they need to do a Miller story on this. I mean, holy shnikes. All right, so hey, Destiny's Gate is Ryan Cady. I've known Ryan for a lot of years, and now that he's delving into almost like the supernatural stories, I'm digging it. This is a place I wish Brian would have went years ago. So Destiny's Gate, that's issue number 2. Highly recommend the series. Speaking of which, Dark Ride. It's kind of a what if Disney sold his soul, like he didn't, to create Disneyland, and kind of a hellish, horrific version. That is just pure entertainment. I've been enjoying this series ever since, issue number 1, obviously, but it's never faltered. It's never ceased to not only give us the entertainment that I've been looking for us, but it's provided something that I think we can all relate to, in the idea of what we've always perceived other amusement park places to be, in the sense of what they would have to do to be able to obtain, maintain, and conduct themselves the way they do. It just has a kind of a metaphoric and symbolic way of poking fun, in my opinion. I just think it's kind of fun. So, hey, Geiger, issue number 1, ground zero of 2. This is kind of a way of saying, hey, look, what we're doing is we're launching a whole universe. And Jeff Johns and others have been able to, with even Distillery and other, I think it's Distillery, and what they've done in this other universe here is they've given us so much to choose from, and how it's opening up this Geiger universe that used to be so small with Junkyard Joe and all this other stuff that's now coming of it. I'm really looking forward to how all this blossoms out from just essentially Geiger. All right, moving from there, we're going to go into G.I. Joe, which this is kind of a rebirth from, well, there you have it. Kirkman has been able to give us Void Rivals and have its concoction a birth of Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Cobra Kai. So this is something I'm looking forward to getting into. It not only knocks hard on the nostalgia door, but it allows me to go ahead and see what Kirkman's going to do with this new universe. Children of the Comet. This is a hard one for most because it's not something that most people are reading, and you're so far deep into the story that it's not a jumping on point. You would have to go far back into a lot of different books and a lot of different reads to kind of know what's going on. But the beauty of the story is rather simple. If Haley's Comet came every, 77, 78 years, 76 years? Anyways, and it had an effect on people, what would the effect be and what would they end up doing with it? And from its result, how would we conduct ourselves every time knowingly it affects people in this way? It's kind of a simple and really unique concept, in my opinion. All right, Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. Following's back, and he's not effing around. What I've been really enjoying is, again, talking about nostalgia, I've been going back a lot of my old Silver Surfer books. And, if you look back, Mars and Lim been together forever. And Don Ho jumped on with them, I want to say in the past 5 or 6 years or so. And he's been doing the pencils. To me, this partnership just works. Every time they launch a book, it works. Every time the art totally reflects the story. And it's obvious that between even the first 2 that I mentioned, they've been doing it ever since the early 90s. So I guess not just the nostalgia, but the fact that something works and they're not breaking it, I like. So, hey, keep giving me more. I've been enjoying that. Superior Spider-Man. Well, Slott's doing it again. He's giving us a Superior Spider-Man, and he introduced us with issue 0. That's going to go ahead and delve us into the universe. I don't know if he's going to carry on with this regular Spider-Man story, even though I do know he's going to be carrying on with the Spider-Boy stuff. So I have no idea how this works out. just along for the ride. Ghost Rider issue number 20. I've really been enjoying this Ghost Rider more, I think, than most, only for the sake that I've been appreciating the fact that Ghost Rider shows a vulnerability that he's never had before. He's freaking got a girlfriend, like long term, like something that's going to go ahead and negatively affect him, not only positively affect him at some due course. You know that she'll be held captive, and that you see that playing out. As it stands right now, she's been way more of a benefit than a hindrance, and I just been really, really digging it. When I talk about Blade, I'll end up bringing up essentially some of the same type of points, but you'll see how it slightly differs. Mortal Thor, this is 4. Do I got a 3? I got a 3. Immortal 3. Immortal 4. A little behind in some of my reading. I've been enjoying this, though I've been really puzzled. It's like, who the frick is this other guy? And now that he's bound and he's thrown over in this other, I got questions. And I'm hoping I get some answers in issue number 3 and 4. I think I'm a little out of touch with what's going on in the world here. Dang, Dark Ride. So I was like, Dark Ride is really cool. And the art's really good too. I have to admit, it's really, really good. Down to Earth and not too long ago? No. Some fantastic powers. That would be interesting. That would be cool. As long as it's the right person, that's what I would want to know. I mean, that's always the trick. Animal Pound, Ashcan edition. The Orwell's Tale. And I'm looking forward to jumping into this because, it's been done a few different ways and so many times because it's such a beautiful story that I think I've read it as a comic before, too. So I am looking forward to getting into the, as an Ashcan, just a touch of, but the full, I think it's a 5 or 6 issue mini of this tale. So I think already issue number 2 is coming out or already came out. Doctor Strange. All right, so here's another girlfriend situation that I kind of neglected to remember at the moment until now. This has also been a really cool love story. More than just an adventure story with magic and all kinds of people's lives and the world being threatened continuously. It's been a cool love story, and I've been thoroughly entertained on how much Clea has been a badass. She not only going to hold her own, but damn. She would even give Doc a run for his money, I think. Might even take him out. Who knows? She's gnarly. Holy frick. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. I think this is, issue number 5. This finishes the whole mini. One, I thought it was kind of cool on how much the Turtles get their ass kicked by the Street Fighters. I never would saw that coming. The other one is being that they're, joined forces and figuring all this mystery stuff out, which if you're into Street Fighters, if you're into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm sure you'll be into this. Especially trades nowadays that are being so, cheap. Recommend it, not only recommend it, but it's so much fun. And you're going to get some questions answered, like what if these were to pit and who were to fight. It's fun. So, yeah, I can't wait to finish that out. Speaking of another crossover, which I thoroughly enjoy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Stranger Things. I know nothing of Stranger Things. I know there's a wee bit from this. What I find thoroughly enjoyable is the fact that how they've been able to tie these worlds together and explain a crossover that one would think there's no way this could ever happen. It could happen, and it's actually a decent read. Is it going to change your life? No. You're going to dig it? Yeah, if you are into Stranger Things and Turtles, you will. I am telling you. Yo, John, how you be? Hope all is well. Two Gun. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is well. Speaking of hoping everyone is well, unfortunately, John, I hear that Charlie's not feeling well. Send her, some healing, whatever. I'm kind of down sick too, so I don't know if I can send healing powers that way. But hey, seriously, tell her I'm thinking of her, and I hope she gets well soon. All right, back with you guys. We're halfway there. So hey, what's the furthest place from here? It's been an extremely enjoyable read. What's been very interesting about this read is every time I put down an issue after reading, I am thoroughly scratching my head wondering, how did the guy get here? What I remember is it was heavily about music and about how these people in a dystopian, like, how did I get here? And what the heck is how we so that's what's been really cool about the story is you never know what's going to happen next. You're usually trying to figure out what led to the events that kind of got, I mean, there is no jumping around. It all makes sense. As a matter of fact, it breaks down. There must be like 6 chapters inside of each comic. Seriously. It's just the way it moves and how fast you get to places. You're just constantly going, there's no way I want to be in this place, and how how the hell do I get out? Where's the next issue? It's really that enjoyable. All right, I'm sorry, I've been hanging out in one too long. All right, once upon a time at the end of the world, issue number 10 of 15. Excuse me. This has been a dystopian love story that I thoroughly just, my heart melts. I mean, look at the rocks right there. Just look at that. Isn't that? I mean, the art is beautiful. The story is beautiful. I really enjoy not only what Aaron's doing as far as just telling a story, but the world that he's created is so easily to get immersed in. And not I'm saying just by looking at it, but when you allow yourself to entertain these ideas, it is a moving story. It really is. Moving on from that, let's talk about Red Goblin. I am thoroughly sad that this is the last story. Paco Bedell has been doing a great job. I've been talking to Sabir Pirzada. He did Cult of Carnage, Misery, along with he's finishing out with Iman Vellani, the Ms. Marvel story. And I was talking about how I was really enjoying the story, and he was telling me about not only how he talks to Alex about this story, but how Misery affects this story, or how she would conduct herself if she was present in here, and or how, you know, normally if he was in the other story conducts himself, or how they should. So it's been interesting to know that all this backstory has been going on even on the comic side of these stories. So when it was told to me that the story was going to go away, more than just this story going away and my appreciation for it, along with it were the conversations that Sabir and Alex were having about that in the other book, which again, it kind of brings a little, you know, misery, sadness to my heart, because I know they were thoroughly enjoying the characters, you know. So along with just me as a reader writing, I know that there was other people that were enjoying writing what I was enjoying reading. I look forward to these characters down the road in the Marvel Universe reappearing, and not only that, but seeing possibly some type of crossover that both Sabir and Alex can work on, because I'm really interested to see what they can do when they bring these two characters together. I was talking about Blade, and here we go again. So Blade, I was never a huge Blade fan, but bringing in his daughter and showing how now he has a vulnerability like he's never had before, a daughter that can be now held against him, you know, captive, whatever, even though she's been a strong team member at this point, shows a vulnerability, like I said, that has never been seen in all the years that Blade story has been told. So you know that inevitably that's going to be told, but at this point, it's been interesting to see a side of Blade that has never been seen before. A side of love for a kin that he's never really had, you know, so it's pretty freaking cool. Philadelphia. I've been loving this story ever since it came out. I was fascinated when I talked to Rodney Barnes years ago when he was even just talking about the launch of this, let alone when it came out. let alone when I did an interview with him shortly after that, and meeting him even a couple times. Anyways, what I find interesting is now we get a crossover that I've been waiting for, which is, I didn't think it would be Spawn, but I was hoping for Savage Dragon, oddly enough. And obviously, we got what I think was the stronger draw, which is the Philadelphia and Spawn crossover. But the beauty is we end up seeing more than that. We end up seeing, I guess, hopefully we get an explanation of how it works, but we get to see other characters that are in the Marvel Universe. So we know that Philadelphia now is beyond even what it was originally supposed to be. It's now delved into a full-on Image universe that seems to be almost blooming, kind of like a Marvel Universe first did back in the heyday. Just my opinion. All right, what if Blade got bit? Really love this cover. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. This is I was going to pass on this, but I couldn't pass up on the cover, and I'm hoping that the rest of the art kind of almost carries through. All right, Transformers issue number 2, Red issue number 1. These things are pretty brutal. This is not the Transformers I read as a kid. I don't even remember them squishing people. Just to see how squishy they were. That blew my mind. So, and that all stems from Void Rivals. Void Rivals gave birth of the whole new Kirkman universe that he's given us, which is Transformers, G.I. Joe, Cobra Kai, everything else that's going to be coming out of this whole Kirkman thing that he ended up buying. What is that, Hasbro? And it all started from the Void Rivals, issue number 1, where we first ended up seeing Transformers. Loving how the Void Rivals is a standalone book, though. You don't have to be into anything else. And the fact that it's been a cover-up of just multiple generations and how it's all transpiring, and it's cool. Because metaphorically, symbolically, you can actually tie this into a lot of ways that we look at things presently, past, so forth. So, nicely done, Robert. Nicely done. Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 12. This finishes it out. And yeah, this was probably one of the best Joker stories I read in a year. This was not just because it's 12 issues. I don't mean it like that. But as far as anything else that came in between or even slightly before, this is probably the most enjoyable Joker book that I've been able to pick up. So awesome. I'm looking forward to finishing that out, and it's going to kill me when it is. Money Shot. My Cherry Pop Tart came back, and she's been around, and she is just, I'm still trying to figure out. I think she's coming from an evil side of place, but I think she's more robot than human. I'm not quite certain. Money Shot, if you don't know, is a story of a bunch of scientists that were trying to raise money to explore the universe, and the only way they can do so is turning porn stars. Oversimplified version of really what the story is, but essentially that's it. So if you're into it, I recommend it. Alice Never After. Dan Panosian is just killing it with the story. It originally started out as a chick with a drug problem. Then when they give her a lobotomy, it turns out to be far worse. So it's been a story that's been like no other told by anybody else about Alice. And I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. Poor damn girl. But hey, she's a Queen of Hearts now. So what, can't be all bad. Firepower, issue number 28 of 30. The beauty about this book is Kirkman has never in his history, in my opinion, written a book that is more action, more adventure, less dialogue, less killing dialogue than this book. This book has been thoroughly enjoyable. Like, damn, if they don't make this into a Walking Dead type series, they're losing out. This, I hope by 2027, this could be actually a story, because this needs to be told. This would be an awesome series on like Amazon or Netflix. Just saying. And if you don't see it, frig it, read it. Firepower, 30 issues. Hallows Eve has been one of the newest characters coming out of the Spider-Verse along with Spider-Boy. And between those two, they've been actually, and Ben Reilly turning Chasm, has been some of my 3 favorite characters that have come out in the past 2 years of the Spider-Verse. So, yeah, I mean, Hallows Eve, pretty interesting character. She can just throw on a mask and become that mask, that thing, a ghost, Thanos, whatever. It's pretty cool. Creep Show. If you're a Creep Show fan, I don't need to tell you. And it's been that enjoyable. I actually got to peek into it, and it's pretty cool. I think so, isn't this second printing? Second printing! I knew I read it. Hey, Slayer. I had to get this. Slayer of old, been listening to them since 19. I heard a dates me, a cassette tape that came out of a garage back when they were still doing Haunting the Chapel. Yeah. God, that takes me back. What was that, like 82? Oh my God. 83? I'm old. All right, hey, speaking of which, Marvel Zombies. This is an old story that I'm digging this new version. So I can't wait to get in here. It's 3 different tales. And it's a black, white, and blood, but it's still a zombies thing. I love zombies. All right, Ranger Academy. So if you had the opportunity to become a Power Ranger, would you do it? Also, would you be able to handle the training? So this is kind of a journey along the way, which has been pretty cool. I only got to read 1 issue, but shit, I dug it. Take a moment, say hey to everybody. Look who's here. Yo, Ian, how you be? Hope all is well. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. You only get 2 question marks in the chat. Sorry. That's the rule. No, it's just yeah, I did do the Raining Blood thing. You're right. Nicely done. Yeah, I ended up seeing him on the Raining Blood tour at the Palladium with Dark Angel. God damn. Did I mention I'm old? All right, moving along. Spider Boy. It's a negative. Spider Boy is usually positive. It's only negative on the cover. Really love this story. I'm going to get long-winded with a little explanation real quick. Love this cover. Paying a little homage. And I'm going to talk about this cover right here. I believe it's issue number 11 of Spider-Man. I call this cover, which I've never heard anyone call it or even address this cover yet. It doesn't matter if it's foil or not. They have the regular version. But I call this the mistake cover. And the reason why is Spider-Boy mistakenly ties up Spider-Man in a web. So in issue 11, I believe it is Spider-Man's trying to wrap his head around because he doesn't have a remembrance of Spider-Boy. And Spider-Boy's trying to tell him, hey, look, I've been around. I've been doing this thing. I'm good. Just let me do my thing. And Spider-Man's like, no. So Spider-Man webs him against the wall. What he doesn't see is Spider-Boy whips out a canister of de-webbing spray that Spider-Man gave him. But Spider-Man doesn't remember any of this. As he de-webs himself, Spider-Man's talking, and Spider-Boy sneaks up on him, and he's like, how did you sneak up on me and not trigger my spider sense? So that's one of 2 things. Spider-Boy does not trigger Spider-Man's spider sense. Only 2 entities do. Spider-Boy being one of them, the second being Venom, because he was part of Peter. So the other thing is that Spider-Boy tells Spider-Man, hey, look, you gave me a can of de-webbing spray because you gave me at one time webs, and I accidentally webbed you up. And so you gave me the de-webbing spray for stupid accidents that might occur, and that's the accident. This is the accident, the mistake cover. So if you're wondering, what does that even mean? That's what ends up happening. Full explanation, issue 11, I believe it is, Spider-Man. Scotty Young! Can't go wrong with Scotty Young. And then I went like ultra like heavy. I think I got 3 covers of these. The idea is I will have Dan Slott sign them. I have like a 1 in 100, 2 of them. The two of the 1 in 50s, maybe three of them. And I mentioned I got crazy. I haven't got nuts like this in a while, but I really believe that this is, the last time I did things like this was Strange Academy, Stray Dogs. So I usually don't go crazy on things like this unless I really have a strong feeling. Uncanny Spider-Man. Yeah, but what issue? Okay, I did it backwards. Uncanny Spider-Man, issue 2 and issue 3. I read issue 1 and I loved it. I had no idea that it was going to be this, and this was cool. This is a story I did not expect and I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, I can't really say much more. It's cool. Uncanny Spider-Man. Venom 27. I'm a little behind, and I really like the fact that we got a Widow symbiote. Kind of felt it was going to happen at some point, anyways. I was once told back in the early 90s that symbiotes were going to be the new mutants. Just give it time. That they were going to be that popular. So it's kind of cool to see a lot of people that weren't mutants getting a symbiote. It's kind of like Oprah, you get a symbiote, you get a symbiote. All right, here we go. I am a huge Stan Sakai fan. So being that they're doing all this, re-releasing of stuff and new issues of stuff, and especially through Dark Horse, which takes me back to your, I've been digging it. So I've been getting the cover A's and B's when I can, unless it turns into a 1 in 10, which I usually can't afford. So yeah, this is Usagi Yojimbo, Ice and Snow, issue number 2 of 4. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about Marvel Superheroes. Really what this is, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 37, cover B. Cover A. Which starts, it's kind of like the real main starting point of the gang war, kind of bridge it into it. But it's still more of a bridge, much like 36's. It's more wreck stuff than it is anything else. Issue number 36. And I did enjoy this stuff. I like that new character. I don't think he's like the greatest, and I understand why it kind of irritates people, but I don't know. I dig it. All right, hey, we're almost there, people. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you still being here. Did I see that? Wait, I know Jigs loves him. Yeah, well, Jigs, I don't think so. I think he's iffy on Spider-Boy. Oh, hey. Richard Wolf is saying hi. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he in there? All right, people. Distillery. This is Soma. I can't know. Kai was telling me how to pronounce it correctly, and I didn't. But this is, oh my God, talk about a very risque book. This is wow. I can't wait to really thoroughly enjoy this. But being that it was Black Friday, I ended up picking up all the Distillery stuff. It was normally really expensive, but they offered at a great deal. So I was looking at some Distillery. Well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you appreciating it. I like the fact that you like watching them. And then what was this? I think being that I bought all the ones that didn't have the the stuff on the cover, I don't have a very good memory. Oh yeah, Gone. This is the Jock. So this is Gone. So I think this was like the second launch for Distillery. The first being this one, Devil's Cut, which gives you a bunch of little pieces of stuff. And then I don't know if people knew, but if you didn't get it first time around on the whole Last Ronin stuff, issue 1 and 2, they launched as a relaunch. And if you didn't get it the first time around, or you didn't want for a second printing, but you want a whole like a new version, this is a cheaper way to go. I'm doing the whole thing all over again. I don't want to touch any of my first volumes now. They've gone through the roof like they have. So I'm just doing all the second stuff. They re-released it, and it's freaking cool. And they're actually going to do a whole new volume coming out. I want to say in about 3 or 4 months, they're going to end up coming out. All new Last Ronin stuff is basically a succession of what transpires after the first one with the all new Turtles, which I really like evolving stories. Anything that just is a good story, I'm going to read it. Is it, to me, there's no sacrilege. There's nothing negative about the fact that they're doing a whole new turtle story. I could thoroughly enjoy it as long as they don't desecrate the name. But hey, other than that, that's everything I got. Oh, wait. My weekly pickups. Really quick. Didn't have one, wanted one, got one. Boom! Spider-Man 13. Incredible Hulk, issue number 6 came out. Not going to read it because I still haven't got the 5 and read it. But actually, there's a 1 in 25. And hey, they had one available, so I picked it up. What do I got here? Spider-Boy. Got to throw that in the pile. This was a local comic shop day. I didn't pre-order it because I wanted to go to the comic shop and get stuff, right? That's how it works. So there it is. Wanted one, got one. They hooked me up, actually. They were like, hey, I bet you want this. I said, you're right. It was already in my pull box. Carnage! If it ain't Carnage, it's going to be damn soon. I'm looking forward to reading this. That is the 1 in 25, so I'm not going to jump into this. I do have a regular copy coming at me, or if I end up waiting next week, I'll just end up picking up on the older side of the shelf and give me a discount. My point being is, can't wait to get into some Carnage. Carnage has been so freaking enjoyable in the past 2 years. Between Ron V writing it, giving it off, and then now the successor, Turin, doing it. I can't wait. I really can't. And that's everything. Finally, I did it. And you did it. Thank you guys, everyone. I appreciate you. And that's it for me. Entropy. Thank you much. Stay well.